let's have a look at this last section of our blanket. So this one is a combination of cables and rows of knits and pearls. And then you have like a beautiful edging for your cable, just to like really make it stand out. So it's an easy repeat. You have a cable going in one direction and in the other direction, like on the next cable. So it's written out as a very long repeat because it takes like all of this. But it's actually like twice the same, except the cable direction is different. Most rows are pretty easy, knits and pearls, and then you have like 3 times a row with a cable, and that's all. This section is gonna be very like it flattens very nicely and it blocks very well. So I highly recommend you block your blanket, like in general, but especially for this section, this part here, because it has like 2 rows. It's 2 rows of stockinette in each direction, basically. So that one is really gonna make a huge difference to block it. You can see here that it's not perfect yet on this one. I should block it a bit more so that it doesn't pucker in here, but it makes a big difference. So let's work up the stitch repeat in detail. So you're gonna cast on 28 because it's a 20 stitch repeat, and then we need an extra 8 to have a cable on each side of our repeat. So I did 28. Of course, you're going to do whatever size you have for your blanket. And then you have those garter stitch edging for your blanket. The first row is going to be just knit across. So we're going to knit every stitch. All right. So then on your second row, so the first section is for your like cable and like the edges around the cable. So that's a knit 2 because we want it to be like 2 pearls on the other side. Purl 4 because we're on the wrong side here. So 4 is for the width of the cable. Knit 2 again for some pearl fabric around the cable. Purl 1 for that beautiful edge, and then we're going to knit 10. So that's 10 for the middle like ribbing sort of section. Then purl 1 for the edging for the next cable. Knit 2, purl 4, and knit 2 for like the second cable. And then yeah, you finish with a knit 2. So on the next row, this is going to be the first cable row. So here we're on the right side, and you can start seeing like the different pieces, parts of your section. So you have this is going to be your cable, your middle like ribbing thing, and then this last cable. You can put stitch markers. It's going to be very helpful for this one. So it's going to be purl 2 because you want those 2 to always be purl on the right side. Then we're going to do a cable. So I'm going to take my cable needle because it's a 4-stitch cable, but you can use anything that you can put your stitches on basically for like 2 minutes. So it's a 4-stitch wide cable, so we're going to put 2 stitches on our cable needle, put them at the back, knit the next 2, and then go back to the stitches on the cable needle and knit those 2. So we've done our cable. Then we need to purl 2 for that pearl fabric next to the cable, knit 1 for the beautiful edge, and then we're on our ribbing section, and here we need to make sure I don't make a mess, knit 12. So it's 12 because you have those beautiful edges, and then a few for like the ribbing. I'm gonna knit all the way to my next cable. Okay, so I did my beautiful edge, And here I have my 2 stitches purled for my cable. Then I have my next cable. So this one is going to be to the front because we're alternating back and front. I'm going to knit 2, go back to the stitches on the cable. Going to knit these 2 and then purl the last 2 stitches of your section. Okay, so you've done like the hardest row. And now we're just gonna repeat the pattern to get to the next cable. So in total we have a 8-row repeat, if I'm not mistaken and counting correctly. So the next one, we're gonna knit 2 for that like purled section around our cable, purl 4 for our cable, knit 2 again. And here our middle section, we need to purl it because we just knit it. So we need to have 2 rows where you do the same thing and then you switch to the other stitch for that middle. Okay, then we need to knit 2 for the purl section around the cable, purl 4 for the cable, and knit 2 again. Okay, turn your work again. Okay, now we're gonna really see the repeat start coming along, so it's gonna be way easier. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna knit all the stitches as they come, except for that middle ribbing here. We've done 2 rows of stockinette, so now we need to do 2 rows of stockinette in the other direction, so it's gonna be purl. But other than that, we can knit the stitches as they come, which I always find easier. So you're gonna purl 2, knit 4, purl 2, knit 1, and this is where we do our ribbing. So we're going to purl 10, gonna knit 1 for the edge, purl 2 for the purl like background for the cable, knit 4 for the cable, and then purl the last 2 again. Okay, so now you can turn your work, and on this row you can knit every stitch as it comes. So that's the easiest. So it's going to be knit 2, purl 4, knit 1, knit 2, sorry, for the purl fabric, purl 1, and then knit 10. And you just work all the stitches as they come until the end of the row. All right, so then we have 2 more rows repeat before we do the next cable. So I'm not going to work them out because it's just the same. So you're going to work this part, you just work as it comes, and here you just need to knit on the first row and then purl on the second one so that you invert the stockinette stitch from direction again, and then this section you just knit it as it comes, and then you can make the next cable and start over.